Welcome to Spain, to Andalucia, Cadiz, and we are here in Vejer la Frontera for the 27th edition, the third week of the Sunshine Tour. One of the facilities of the Blasquez family. This year, yet again, bigger, better. Of course, under closed doors, but given an opportunity to establish combinations to get back on track and back competing, and for young combinations to be made, for teams to be evaluated by the chef d'équipes. And here we have, in this third week, a 4-star Grand Prix, course builder Elena Vox. It's beautiful weather, a little windy, and looking forward to this 4-star Grand Prix of the Council of Andalusia. So, to discover the track of Elena Vox, we're going to follow none other than Fredrik Jonsson from Sweden and Coldplay. It's a difficult track. There's 43 horses have been jumping, and only just 3 clears so far. It took 38 horses, and the first clear was Joe Stockdale on Casherel, beautiful round, and then it took another 38 horses before we had another 2 clear. So, as you will see, it's a maximum height, 1.55 m. There's short of 28,000 to the winner, so it's normal that they ask for a bit of jumping. And as you will see, horses have to move forward to make the distance, and some of the distance and some of the fences require a lot of balance. And this is where this track has proved to be very difficult. The time allowed is 84 seconds, which is not very short, although it has caught one so far. Back bar down. This plank has given a lot of trouble, as has this combination, which he's jumping very well. Now, because there's very few clears, some people now with 4 falls are trying to get in the money by having a fast force fold, which is exactly what Fredrik is trying to do here, coming to the last and coming home on 1 time fold and 1 fence down. So he did take a little bit of time there in the second part of the course, trying to balance the horse back after the combination, and which has caused him to have a time fault. So at the moment, just the 3 clears. For Ireland, Michael J. Duffy. For Argentina, José Larroque Finlente. And for the UK, Joe Stockdale and Casherel. Now the very, very informed Kim Emmen here for the Netherlands. Kim is riding Jack van het Dennenhof. Kim, who has been successful both in the big classes with the experienced horses and with her younger 7-year-old horses. They're a very forward stride there of 23.5 meters. As I said, Kim previously associated to Mr. Berghoff's stable. Now was got flat. Now working for our own base together with Sean Cubbett, and has been extremely busy and extremely competitive on the circuit. This week she Finished first and second on the 7-year-old classes. And coming home with 2 down and 8 faults for Kim Annan and Jack Benedenoff. Next, we have another competitor from the Netherlands. See the horse jumping well. This horse has been performing very well over the last 2 weeks, but today was not the day. So next in the ring is Henk van der Poel, and he's riding the 11-year-old Loyman, son of Numero Uno. This would be a challenging course for this combination horse that sometimes has a little steering problem, and the way that the course is asking for horses to open up and then come back is definitely going to be a challenge here. Not the smoothest of start, unfortunately. Henk was extremely successful with this kind of difficult horses. He's showing all his talent there, but a long way to go. Still clear. Uses this delicate vertical. Still clear. Ooh. Just horse didn't come back, ended up very deep. Now the steering unfortunately has gone, and wisely turned away from that oxer. I think has decided to call it a day. So as you can see, a very demanding track. Elena Boix, who is part of would be very much influenced by Javier Tenor, which very often builds in Spain, and shows very much of the delicate way that he also builds, without making it very difficult from a scope or power point of view, but very demanding on rideability of the horses. So next in the ring is Matthew Sampson, and he's riding Paul Walker. Matthew always very consistent. This combination actually did win a Grand Prix very early in the season, in January, in Wellington, in Florida. Wellington, where last night Bertram Allen won the big Grand Prix. This horse previously ridden by Laura Kraut. It's a big ask coming out of the combination, and then a very forward approach to the next oxer. Jumping extremely well there. And just 5 to go. Fortunately there the horse hesitated and stopped. Luckily both horse and rider seem to be well. In the middle of the week we had a little bit of rain, so didn't affect the conditions. I think the grass arena here and the David Broom arena is always riding spectacularly well. Here a new combination. This is the first show that's been jumping for the whole series for the last 3 weeks here with Dominic Hendricks for Belgium, and he's riding Jamel Rahimov from Azerbaijan and riding Floris Tien, 11-year-old by Quality Time. Was second earlier on in 1m50 class, so you just saw there just still 3 clear so far. And about 15 combinations to go. So this combination already second in the 1m50 class here on this tour. In the previous 2 Grand Prix over the last 2 weeks, both times were about 15, 16 combination in the jump off, but I doubt very much that we will have this number this week, although very strong combinations come late on to the class. Coming into this last stage, front down for the vertical, delicate vertical, and now coming down to the last 2 fences with just 4 faults, and well within the time, I think. Yeah, in the time with 4 faults for Dominic Hendricks and Floris Tien. Just ever so slightly in front. Just, but a combination that we for sure will see more of in the remaining week. So next in the ring is for Ireland, Billy Toomey, and Billy is riding the 12-year-old Lord's Head mare Lady Lou. Lady Lou, who won in Basel in 2019. This time last year, jumped in Wellington. Was 6th in a big Grand Prix there, and was part of the team that finished 2nd in the Nations Cup. Fortunately, back pole down there for Lady Lou and Billy. This mare previously ridden by Louis Sewell, now owned by Sue Davis. Come to the last on 4 faults. And finishing on 4 faults in 80.82 seconds. Which at the moment would still be giving him some some prize money. Next now for another combination for Sweden. I said Sweden, who is very much trying to have a strong team for Tokyo, and possibly some change in the team they've had for a few years. And here, the very in form Douglas Lindelöf, and he's riding Sheldon. Douglas, who is one of the most adaptable riders on the circuit, the last few years produced a big number of horses to the top level, which were then sold or changed rider. Casello went to Ludwig Beerbaum, Sacramento, Tallinn. And now with Sheldon here and Casca Blue, he has two extremely competitive horses. One already a class with Sheldon, and also has one with Casca Blue. Unfortunately, the horse got flat there and back down and double again, so it won't be this Grand Prix, but he will be back. He's very fast, very competitive, and there's a big team of horses here that he's getting ready for the season. So that's Douglas going to the last fence and coming home with a very fast time, but unfortunately 8 faults. So we're down to the last 10 horses now for this Grand Prix. Still just the 3 clears. The horse got, again, very demanding to have those big changes of asking horses to lengthen and to come back on a big open field like that than early in the season. So next now into the ring and having started her track, jump the second fence here, is Giulia Martinengo, and she's riding Kiwi Kick, 12-year-old by Korne Doblinski. Giulia, wonderful rider that keeps producing new horses to a top international level. Lovely blood type of horse. Came back nicely there for the vertical, and it's just having a beautiful round here. Most impressive. She has to watch the time a little bit, I think. She didn't go slowly, but she did take quite wide turns. Now coming to the water, checking the water beautifully, and coming to the last, but unfortunately coming home with one time fall. So unfortunately a beautiful round. I'm sure Giulia, being the pro she is very happy to see the horse going clear, but probably regretting a little bit the time fault. But a spectacular round this was. And it does leave her still at the moment in 4th place. So it is possible to go clear, and we are getting in the stronger part of the competition now. So the last chance for Spain, and that's Manuel Fernandez Saro, and he's riding Charlene de Torres. Manuel, who's produced a horse that's already clear, but for José La Roca, Finlente, partnered that horse for a while in his formative years. And here he's with a locally bred horse, a horse actually bred in Cadiz by the French stallion Jarnac. And as always, Manuel has produced and has trained horses and has been patient with horses to let them come to themselves, no matter what time it takes. He gives them every chance. Before written by another Andalusian rider, Alejandro Maldonado, and now under Manuel. So jumping a very impressive round here. And coming to the last, still clear, that'll be hugely popular local rider and local horse. So a clear round. So we now have our fourth clear round and one for Spain. Manuel, better known as Fanfa, hugely popular rider, and that has ridden the most incredible variety of horses and produced horses from novice to top international grade time and time again. So next is for Ireland, trying to join Michael J. Duffy in the jump off is Richard Howley, and Richard is riding Arlo de Blondel. 1 or 2 star Grand Prix in Oliva, previously written by Jack Whitaker. Oops, unfortunately got low there coming into the combination and has the first part of the combination down. Not a fence that came down very often. Unfortunately, 8 folds. Rich was trying to make up a little bit of time to get low end money, but unfortunately the horse got flat and had the second part of the double down. Foot in the water and coming home on 12 falls. So 4 clears, we're getting down to the horses and combinations that would be high ranked, so we have a good chance to get 1 or 2 more clears to make it a 5-way or a 6-way jump off. So next into the ring is for Belgium, DM Jacques Mott with Wilm Vermeer. Wilm already fought in the Grand Prix on week 2. Try to go one better on this one. Previous winner of the Derby in Dinar, so horse obviously that likes the grass. Scores by Toulon. Just a 12-year-old. Still clear. Oops. Difference of opinion there. And unfortunately, the chances of a place in the jump off and prize money have now gone for Willem Vermeer. As always, this show proving extremely popular with an ever improving range of facilities, range of stabling, and about 2,000 horses are home here during those shows. Some horses just stay for a couple of weeks. That would include Le Prévost, who was here and is competing in Doha this weekend. And some of the riders just stay for a short period of time and then move on to the next show. So next here is GL Events Venetia Aiguilly for France with Olivier Perrault. This combination, huge winners in 2019, really came to the fore in 2019 within the Grand Prix of Saint-Tropez. Won the World Cup in Tétouan, Morocco. And trying to go back to that form that they had there after quite a year in 2020 because of COVID. Unfortunately, the plank's down and now the first part of the double down as well. So coming home on 8 faults. So normally one of the favorites for this class on record, but unfortunately today she will not be seen in the jump off. To get a little flat and hectic halfway through the course. So next in the ring is phenomenally in form Gudrun Patate, who was second in the Grand Prix the first week with Mona Lisa, won the Grand Prix last week with Kashmir, and this week is putting in the ever young Seacoast Pebbles. This horse has won about 600,000 euros at this stage, and Gudrun in incredible form at the moment, so will again be a very strong candidate to go clear, and a formidable competitor then in the jump off. Still clear. Shows the depth of talent that she has, that she can compete in 3 Grand Prix 3 weeks in a row with 3 different horses. So coming to the last 2. Ooh, put a foot back the water and had a foot in the water, unfortunately, with a fast time of 81. So unfortunately we will not be able to see the informed Gudrun Patate and get to jump off. She's disappointed with that. Let's see how the horse just put a foot back into the water, so without question 4 falls into the water. Next is another very much in form rider, David Will. It's been consistently in the money. Won a couple of classes with Forrest Gump, but this time is competing the 13-year-old CVR2. It's been second in the 2-star Grand Prix before Christmas. But this show has not yet shown the same form as what Forrest Gump has shown. So coming back to the tall vertical, unfortunately, was that down. And they're deciding to retire. Horse seemed to have lost a shoe.
Next on the course for Belgium is he is riding Deus, montando Deus. Representando Bélgica, Guéry.
So, just 3 combinations left to jump, but huge names and very well established combinations that are just getting themselves ready for the rest of the season. 2019 was the start of a wonderful road for this particular combination of Jérôme Guéry and Kelom de Hus. And one will remember that in 2019, after a warm-up here in and a get-to-know-you time here in Vejer de la Frontera, Jérôme Guéry went to Mexico, and in Mexico won the Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Mexico with this very horse. Horse that has now won about 750,000 euros. Won the Grand Prix the first week. Jérôme was second in the second week, but with another horse. And is giving here yet another exhibition of jumping. A charismatic combination. Previously written by Gaëtan de Croix and his wife Alice Tréau, and since 2019 written very successfully by Jérôme Guéry, who's also the part owner. And coming in clear very well within the time, 80.84, beautiful round, exhibition round of Jérôme Guéry. Again, a horse that is probably one of the possible candidates for Tokyo for the Belgium team, but a lot has to happen before that, I'm sure. And that brings the total of clears for the jump off to 5. And a very strong combination. Now, another top combination with the Lasso would have Tokyo ambitions. It's Max Hautsager riding the 13-year-old Sterhoff Dante by Canturano, winner of the World Cup of Amsterdam, second in the Grand Prix in La Coruña. One of the many wonderful horses of Sterhoff's. Still clear. Lucky on that behind. Was off on the water and unfortunately just got a heel on the tape, so finishing on 4 falls in 82 seconds. It was most unfortunate, just seemed to be a little bit off the water and unfortunately not into the jump off. So we're still on 5 with the last horse coming into the ring. And ever so slight, but the heel clearly on the tape and penalized with 4 falls. So with just one left to go, and none other than world number 1, Steve Gerda. And Steve is riding Alfurens Maddox. Alfurens Maddox, a Swedish bred horse. And the depth of the stable of Stephen is such that it's maybe not a horse that one has seen very much off, even though he was third in a Grand Prix, a 4-star Grand Prix in Saint-Tropez, won a Grand Prix 2-star in Gola Minore, but he's done a lot of winning with some other horses, but he's been jumping this horse over the last 3 weeks with an ever improving curve. Horse previously ridden by Stephanie Holmean of the Peter Fredriksson stable. Big scopy horse. Difficult track for this horse. There's a lot of going forward and coming back. Steve has a big team of horses here. Obviously, it's get them all warmed up for the season ahead. Jumping extremely well. The best this horse has jumped over the last 3 weeks. Coming down to the last 3. Ooh. Exceptional jump over the water, coming to the last and clear. So nobody will be able to breathe easy until he has gone in the jump off. He'll be last to go, last of 6 to go in the jump off. Jump off over a shortened course. And it's great to see the improvement that and the ability of Stephen to just work around a horse and improve him all the time with the wonderful feel and tact. So Joseph Stockdale, Equine America Casual, Jose La Roca, Finalente, Michael J. Duffy, Lapuccino II, Manuel Saro, Charlene, Kelom de Hus, Jérôme Guéry, and Alp Furens Maddox, Steve Garda. So we've got 7 jumps, 8 efforts in the jump off. The beginning is 1, 2, 3, 4 BC, and then the new fence 15, and then finishing on 10A and 11. So first to show us the way around is Joe Stockdale on Equine America Casual. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, except that it's B and C are the same. Turning back is B and C, and this time one turns left-handed, a full turn back onto a vertical, big gallop to the first part of the double, and then to Oxer number 11. So Joe starts off clear with a time of 44.74. So again, the mare that jumps a lot of clear rounds. Joe's produced this since he jumped as a 7-year-old 2018, and Joe has been producing it carefully and consistently, and was 7th last week and was 6th in the Grand Prix in Canteleu in France. So now for Argentina is Jose La Roca with Finalente. This combination were 2nd individual in the Pan Am Games. They were also 2nd in the Valencia Grand Prix, 2nd in the Saint-Tropez Grand Prix, and won the Grand Prix of Deauville. So it's a serious combination. As mentioned earlier, it was previously produced by Manuel Saro, who works very closely with Jose La Roca. Unfortunately, fenced down. I'm trying to, could be a little up on the clock from Joseph. Yes, so a faster time, but unfortunately 4 faults for Jose La Roca for Argentina and Finlente. Finlente is by stallion, son of Nabab Durev.
Michael G. Duffy in pista.
Now, a very experienced combination here, despite the age of young Michael J. Duffy, and he's going with the 10-year-old Lapuccino, Irish bred by Sieg Cavallo. Michael J. from Ballina, based with Carl Hanley. Cameron used to ride the sire of this horse. Now he's fast, he's definitely faster than Joe Stockdale. Very economical turn back there. Big galloping horse. Keeps going, and that's a very fast time, 42.86 and clear for Michael J. Duffy and Lappuccino. We'll be well pleased with that. A few anxious moments now to wait for the other three to go. But a brilliant effort. This combination have a very long palmarès with part of the Madrid in Motion team in 2019, a successful Madrid in Motion team. Now, for Spain, with a horse locally bred, written by Manuel Saro, is very good. Still clear. Would be a little down on the clock at the moment. Good turn back. Still has to balance the horse quite a bit, but a brilliant result. 4 falls, unfortunately, in 45.52, but this by far the biggest performance of this horse so far, of Fanfa and Jarlin de Torres. So still Michael Duffy in the lead. He's assured now of a place in the podium, but I'm sure he's looking for more now. And just two to go. And first of them is Jérôme Guéry with Calondeus. Very determined. This horse extremely good at turning and fast across the ground as well. So this will definitely be the biggest danger, and already a winner here at this 27th edition of the Sunshine Tour. Front there. Short, but unfortunately pays the penalty and rolls the pole in front and comes in on 4 falls with an extremely good time down to the last, and home in 41.42. Had done the time, but unfortunately one fence down over the vertical there. So well, number 1 left between top spot for Michael J. Duffy and the first place. So last to go is Steve Gerda with the Swedish bred Alpfurens Maddox. Be very interesting to see whether Steve is going for a economical schooling round, or whether he'll try and actually win the class. This horse on an improving curve on this show, but the horse knows how to win Grand Prix, so fascinating to see. very fast from 2 to 3, but unfortunately fence down. Turning back. Probably the time was fast enough, but unfortunately fence down, so Michael Duffy can start celebrating. And finishing on 4 in 41.30, so finishing on third place, the fastest of the 4 falls. So we have a result for Ireland. First, Michael J. Duffy and Lapuccino. Second, Joe Stockdale and Casherel. And third, Steve Gerda and Abfuran Maddox. Fourth, Jerome Geary. Fifth, Jose La Roca. And sixth, Manuel Fernandez Saro. So this was week 3. Then we have the 2 on one-time fold and the 9th place Samir Eldama on a very fast 4 falls and fortune 4 falls with Sumail Zoro. So there's the prize giving with a delighted Michael J. Duffy. Michael J. that I'm sure is absolutely over the moon, and we're wishing Vinny, his father, a good recovery. He's been a little unwell recently, so this is a great boost for the family.